cabin pressure is dropping low, and I've got nowhere left to go. The yellow mask drops down from the ceiling to match the hollow way I'm feeling. They told me to put mine on first, before the bubble finally burst. But I spent my life trying to give you air, until I realized you weren't even there. Gasping for a breath of something true, in a sky that's a terrifying shade of blue. The engines are screaming, the wings are on fire, the casualty of a long-term desire. I look out the window at the clouds below, thinking of the things I didn't want to know, like how you were planning your own escape, while I was busy recording the tape. I'm breathing through a plastic tube tonight, watching the horizon lose the lights. I'm a pilot without a ground control, trying to save what's left of my soul. But the air is thin, and the heart is weak, and the future is looking incredibly bleak. Give me oxygen, give me a We hit the turbulence an hour ago. I should have seen the warning lights glow, but I was distracted by the map on your lap, falling straight into a beautiful trap. Now the alarms are a symphony of pain, and I'm the only passenger on this plane. I'm holding the mask to my tired face, in this cold and lonely high altitude space. Brace for impact, hide your eyes, say your prayers to the empty skies. I loved you more than the gravity pulled, but the seat next to me is permanently annulled.
folded your letters into geometric shapes, trying to find some colorful escapes. I took them down to the edge of the creek, where the water is fast and the muddy banks leak. I set them afloat on the ripples and foam, sending your promises back to their home. Watch them bob and watch them weave, everything I used to believe. The ink is running, the blue turns to black. There's no way to take the bitter words back. I'll love you forever is sinking fast. I guess that forever was designed not to last. A Dear John letter is a heavy sail for a paper boat that was destined to fail. I'm standing on the bridge with my hands in my hair, watching my history disappear there. Drifting away. I saw one snag on a falling branch, like a slow motion paper avalanche. It crumpled and folded and went underneath like a ghost, losing its sharpened teeth. I wondered if you felt the shiver as well as the last of our stories rang the bell. I'm out of letters and I'm out of ink, watching the very last sentence sink. Fold the corner, crease the edge, standing on the very limit of the ledge. If I jump, will I float like the rest? Will heavy stone inside of my chest? We're just paper boats in a hurricane, dissolving in the tears and the pouring rain. We weren't built for the rocks or the tide, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The current is strong and the water is deep. Empty hands, cold water, the river keeps moving. Cold water, the river keeps moving. I'm packing up the things that don't matter at all, the books on the shelf and the art on the wall. But the things that I need I can't seem to find, like my peace of heart and my peace of mind. The suitcase is open,
like a hungry mouth, and the compass is pointing me further south. I'm leaving the keys on the kitchen stand in a house that I built on shifting sand. I found an old ticket from a show we saw back when our love didn't have a flaw. I tucked it in the pocket of a worn-out coat along with a crumpled, unfinished note. It's heavy for a bag that's mostly air, the weight of the ghost of the things we shared. I'm folding my shirts with a practiced hand, moving like a man who can barely stand. It's just echoes in an empty suitcase today, packing up the parts of me that wanna stay. The zipper is stuck on a memory of June, and the radio's humming a funeral tune. I'm taking the shadow, I'm leaving the light, walking out into the middle of the night with nothing but echoes and a hollow chest. The bedroom is echoing with the sound of my breath. A quiet room is a kind of death. I remember the laughter that filled up the space. Now I can't even picture the smile on your face without seeing the tear that followed it down. I'm the king of a very small, broken town. I'll pull the handle and I'll walk out the door, and I won't be coming back here anymore. One shoe, two shoe, where is the pair? Searching for something that isn't there, like the way that you looked when you used to be mine. It's just echoes in an empty suitcase today, packing up the parts of me that wanna stay. The zipper is stuck on a memory of June, and the radio's humming a funeral tune. I'm taking the shadow, I'm leaving click of the lock, step on the gravel, the long road ahead. Step on the gravel. I'm circling the porch light on a Tuesday night, drawn to the heat and the glow of the light. I
know it's gonna burn me, I know it's the end, but I don't have a wing left that I can mend. You were the flame, flickering and tall, and I was the fool who headed for the fall. Dust on my wings and a hole in my heart, I was doomed to the fire right from the start. The moon is too far and the stars are too dim. I'm tethered to a feeling, a shadow, a whim. I've beaten my head against the yellowing glass, waiting for the fever and the longing to pass. But the warmth is addictive, the danger is sweet. I'd rather be burning than cold on the street. I'm a tiny disaster in a velvet coat, writing a tragedy I never wrote. It's the last flight, the final descent, giving up everything I ever spent, just for a second in the heat of the glow, before I have to finally let go. The singe of the spirit, the ash of the soul, losing my grip and my self-control. Beautiful fire, terrible lies. I remember the meadows before I found you. The clover was green and the morning was new. I could have been happy in the shade of a tree, but I wanted the thing that would desecrate me. Is it love if it kills you? Is it worth the cost to be found for a moment and then forever lost? The bulb is humming a low, steady drone, a funeral march for a moth all alone. Gravity pulls and the heat starts to sting. I'm losing the feathers from my left wing. One more circle, one more try, a desperate prayer to a darkening sky. It's the last flight, the final descent, giving up everything I ever spent, just for a second in the heat of the glow, before I have to finally let go. The singe of the spirit, the ash of the soul, losing my grip and my self-control. Falling to the deck, the light stays on, but I am